So if you're watching this video, it's January 29th. Now I know that January 1st, some of you that are watching probably made some New Year's resolutions. By now, more than likely, most of you are no longer adhering to them. That's why gym membership is always crazy near the end of December, beginning of January, and thins out considerably as the month progresses into January, February, and finally March. Very few of those stalwarts are there. I know that because, hey, I've made New Year's resolutions many times and broken them myself. It's something that we're all very good at. And that's why I wanted to check in with you and see how you were doing with yours. And I would propose something a little simpler for those of you that have fallen off the wagon, or maybe just haven't challenged yourself at all, or are feeling kind of like, a lack of enthusiasm or energy or whatever it may be. I would encourage you to do a 60-day challenge. That's right. For 60 days, I want you to do one thing that's hard to do. That's all. You just got to do one thing. You don't have to single-handedly change the world, but you tackle one thing. For me personally, I've always struggled with my weight. Now, looking at me, you'd probably think, oh, what do you mean? Well, at one time, believe it or not, on my 5'8" stature, which is certainly not a giant, I was 220 pounds. That's right, folks, 220. So I was basically a rotundo, and it wasn't until the birth of my daughter that I basically gave up, shed most of that weight. And even though it's yo-yoed a little bit up and down, I have nowhere near come to that. But ultimately, as you get older and older, as middle age comes, and I think these days, for me, it's very simple. You notice with middle-aged people, their abdomen, their middle seems to expand bigger and bigger. And maybe that's because of the comfort in their life. They're becoming more comfortable. They've got a little more wealth, a little more happiness, joy, maybe whatever it may be. As they seem to have more of the trappings of life and that expands, so does their midline. And I think that's also probably because a lot of folks don't challenge themselves anymore. They basically get very comfortable. And when you look at that worship of comfort and that need to avoid hardship or pain or anything perceived as pain, it kind of explains well the last few years we've just lived through. A lot of people submitted to the mandates or whatever they may be because they didn't want to suffer. Now, granted, I'm not judging people who were worried about jobs or feeding their kids, whatever. I get all that. But there was people who genuinely probably could have not submitted, but they wanted to travel. They wanted to go to nightclubs. They wanted to party. They wanted to do all those things. Basically, they didn't want to suffer. So in light of that, I would encourage you, because we know there's always going to be something else coming around the corner. Prepare, get ready, take something on, challenge yourself with one activity. Myself personally, this is day 15 for me in a training regimen and a eating regimen that I'm basically doing for 60 days. I'm doing intermittent fasting, not advocating it. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not saying all of you should do it. But for me personally, I've been doing one protein smoothie drink and only dinner. That's it. That's all I have. And I've been training every day as well and working out. Again, not advocating it for all of you. This is for me, day 15. I'm hoping I'm going to keep trying to persevere, and I'm going to try to stick to getting to day 60. But think about it. Maybe for some of you, you've always wanted to write a book. Well, a page a day. If you force yourself to do it for 60 days, you'd have 60 pages and you could continue onward. Maybe some of you need to walk a block or two or a mile or whatever it may be. Maybe a doctor's giving you some medical advice. I was walking with somebody on the weekend, and their doctor was advocating they get on statin drugs. And this person said, you know what? No, I'm just going to, I'm going to do the proactive thing. I'm going to lose a bunch of weight. I'm going to do those things necessary. And if I absolutely have to take a drug in the end, I'll take it. But I will do those proactive things that will make me kind of be challenged and go through some hardship. And I think it's really good also if you've got kids, teenagers, whatever. It's something that will teach them self-discipline. I mean, we live in a world that's pretty soft. We don't like to suffer. I mean, what we consider suffering, you know what? I've only have one bar on my Wi-Fi. Are you freaking kidding me? Other people would just kill to have those kinds of problems. And we've encouraged and taught people, especially young people, that life should never involve any suffering at all, no hardship. It should be a life devoid of that. And it's quite the opposite. If you prepare them, if you have them challenge themselves, they can tackle it when it comes and they're ready to go. And again, like we said, I mean, bottom line is that there will always be things coming at them. And if you don't want your children or yourself to be beholden to the state, to basically, submit, not be ready for when the next challenge or hurdle comes in your life, then don't do it. But I think this is something really good. I've noticed that people are doing like those ice baths and all kinds of different challenges. They're just pushing their bodies because, again, like I said, we are lovers of our comfort. We're lovers of our convenience. We just love it to be easy. And we know that times are getting harder, that there is going to be more of this push, that those that are authoritarian want to rule our lives more and more. So we should be able to resist. We should be able to be mentally, physically, spiritually strong. Maybe one of your commitments was to read the Bible or find some other deeper meaning of your life. I mean, go on a search. Just do one thing every day. Commit to doing this one thing. And that one thing would involve, again, it should involve some kind of sacrifice, some kind of giving something up, some kind of suffering. Maybe for some of you, it's dessert. Give up dessert for 60 days. Whatever, social media, whatever. Challenge yourself. I guarantee you, if you stick to it, your, kind of your mood going in and your mood coming out is probably going to be significantly different. And then you don't have to worry about, hey, I broke these New Year's resolutions, because you'll be one of the unique ones. You'll have actually, after 60 days, they say typically it takes about 40 days to form a new habit. My belief is that once you get over 40, like I am, you have to add one extra day for every year. So if you're 60, it's going to probably take you 60 days. Now, I'm not 60 yet, but I've decided I'll add a couple of extra days just to be safe. Anyway, I'll give you an update at the 30-day mark to let you know if I'm still on the program. And again, I challenge everyone out there watching, pick something, just do it. It's worth it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me in my Rumble and my Locals account. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channels, please do so. And I'm on Twitter at Camera612. And I will see you tomorrow.